I'm not really sure where to begin, to be honest. 2019 saw the beginning of the pandemic. Thousands and thousands and thousands of people have died. Millions infected. People have lost their jobs, their homes. There are no doubt plenty of people who are suffering more than others. And for a good while, actually, I've been pretty okay. I'm quite, despite my appearances on YouTube, I do like my own company. I'm happy to be on my own. You know, I'm not a party goer, so I'm not like, you know, I don't have to, or don't have the desire to be social all the time. I'm very happy in my own company, watching TV, playing games, spending time with my family. And you know, over the past year, you read stories of people who've had mental breakdowns, who have had serious mental health issues because of the lockdowns and everything that goes with it. And like I say, I quite like my own company, so working from home, being with my family, you know, I've really enjoyed that aspect of it. I've quite liked not having to go into the office every day. Being at home, especially over the last year, I spent most of last year on furlough, so I was basically out of work, and I got to watch my daughter grow up, which is great. You know, I've really bonded with her, so I count myself quite lucky. And it's probably taken me up until now to kind of get, well, just to kind of feel the way that I do. This isn't necessarily an easy video to make, but I'm doing this because, you know, I'm just like you guys. We're all going through the same things. Like I say, some more than others, and I count myself lucky, but nearly a year later, it's starting to creep into my head a little bit, you know. I'm sat here in my car, nowhere to go. There's nowhere that I really want to go, to be honest. It's a bit of a weird one. This is the third time now that the UK has been locked down. I'm finding myself working all week, staying at home. Well, I work from home anyway, so I work from home all week, spend time at home, the weekends lounging around. You know, we don't go out anywhere. We're just stuck in our house pretty much all the time, other than to go and get food. And just hearing medical professionals and you know, the government and all that kind of stuff talking about, you know, the outlook on 2021, the vaccines, the medications for helping recover from it, the new variants of COVID, which asks a lot more questions than it really answers. You know, does the vaccine work against it? Is it as effective? Does it not work at all? Can you still transmit the disease even if you've been vaccinated? It's just so much. And hearing them talk about perhaps living with COVID forever, which I know is pretty much the same with any disease, really. You know, you look at some of the diseases from hundreds of years ago, you know, they are still around. It's just that we've got so good at vaccinating and preventing it that it's not really a big deal. I'm hoping COVID will go down the similar line of that, in that it still will always be there, but it'll just become, you know, it'll just become a thing that you get, and, you know, a few days later you're fine again. There's a lot of optimism, a lot of positivity, a lot of takeaways from, you know, the data they have so far, but ultimately there's still a lot of unknowns. And just thinking about life, if this is what life is now, permanently locked down, you know, social distancing, you can't hug your family, your friends, you can't go out, you can't, if that's what life is going to be like forever. I'm not saying it's going to be. I did mention about COVID be around forever, but in the sense of, like a common cold, it'll just be there, but life is otherwise pretty much normal. But if this is what it would be like, sort of post-apocalyptic, you know, Earth, where you have this weird way of living now, you know, one step away from living underground, aren't we? COVID, being locked down, going out. I mean, what is the point, really? You work all week, you work to earn money to be able to keep a roof over your head. And on it goes. If you can't travel anywhere, if you can't go anywhere, you can't do anything. What is life about? What is the point? And I'm making this video really to kind of a little bit vent my frustrations, but also just to show you that no matter how good you might think you have it, it can still affect you. And it's taken me, as I say, I'm quite happy in my own company. I've still got a lot of optimism with how this year, you know, could look as we go through it. But right now, it's taken me the best part of a year for this to start to really affect me now. And I think partly because I had a few holidays booked, which was supposed to be taken last year. That got moved, and that got moved an entire year, thinking, oh, that, you know, next year, absolutely. Because there was a time where you'd be looking at it thinking, oh, 1 month to go to the trip, will they cancel it? When they cancel it, oh, what's it going to be like? But then you think a year, oh yeah, I'll be fine by then. And here we are a year later, back in exactly the same scenario. And I think that's when it struck me. I know it's nothing to really complain about, missing a holiday, but that isn't the point. It's the freedom to travel, the freedom to just go out your house. Just go to the park or visit friends. Just do something. I'm just starting to lose my mind a little bit. And you get into this sort of frustrated cycle where every day feels exactly the same. And it's... I just want things to go back the way they were. I know a lot of people have it worse than me. It's just taken me a year to catch up, I suppose. I'm not looking for sympathy. I don't need sympathy. Or pity. I don't need that either. I just want you guys to know that we're all going through it. Despite what you might see on YouTube, you know, we are still people. We're not robots. Everyone's got their own battle. Everyone's got their own demons. And tonight I just need to just get away. And here I am, sat outside my house, sat in my car. For what, really? I just need to get away from just a slither of what my life's been like the past year, really. I just need something a little bit different. Work can be a little bit frustrating at times. Sometimes even family, you know. I'm still hopeful, you know, that we can get through this in the next few months. We're talking about the first phase, you know, everyone being, all the vulnerable, you know, basically everyone over 50, extremely vulnerable, frontline workers, you know, over 70s, over 60s and so on, to be vaccinated by the end of February. And then I guess the rest of the population right the way through to the autumn, really. Hopefully that's enough. We don't know. On the plus side, this is kind of like the worst it's got. And as things start, we've had some data come through today on the TV saying that obviously we're much worse off than we were back in April last year. We're like 75% more hospital admissions since over April. It was crazy. But as you know, as we go through the year, more vaccinations, we're heading into the spring and then into the summer. So at least when we start coming out of this, hopefully we'll be getting nicer weather. I think everyone's spirits will be lifted. We'll be able to travel, at least if it's just in the UK, just a change of scenery, you know. At the moment we just can't go anywhere, so I think the year will progressively get better. I always knew the start of 2021 was going to be a bit of a shit show because we are still through the middle of a pandemic, right? Fingers crossed that the rest of the year will start looking a bit more positive, and then roll on 2022. Alright guys, well you take care, look after yourselves, always be grateful for what you've got, and most importantly, stay safe.